Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Jeep Renegade Trailhawk. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Jeep Chrysler here in Spanish Fork, Utah for me some time with this Renegade. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this Renegade is a turbocharged 1.3 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 177 horsepower and then 210 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end of the Renegade, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the decal there in the center. That's supposed to help reduce glare. And if you're wondering, this color is called Solar Yellow. Who would have thought bright yellow called Solar Yellow? And then you got the Jeep logo there front and center. You guys can see here with the lights that the Renegade has circles like what you always have on Jeeps, right? And then you have Jeep's signature front grille here. Tow hooks here at the bottom in red to signify it is a Trailhawk. Got fog lights, and by the way, we have 8.7 inches of ground clearance. This is a real off-roader. But putting it all together in this yellow color, I mean, it pops. It definitely pops. Coming on the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 215, 65, 17 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheel design, you've got like the silver and the black. It has that kind of chunky off-roader appearance. And then here's a quick look at the tread there with the tires, so you can see how aggressive it is, and then the suspension as well. I love this with the fender flare and how that's like connected to the front bumper and then all along the side, so it has that, you know, kind of like off-roader appearance again. Renegade badge, notice the mirror cap blacked out, and then you got the roof rails right there, and then that section is also blacked out. And then here's your full side view with the Renegade. It has that kind of chunky, boxy, lifted off-roader appearance. Now, taking a look at the key fob, you guys can see we've got our unlock function or lock function, remote starts, and then you got the Jeep badge there on the back. And opening up the back, you guys can see that we've a decent amount of cargo space here in the back of the Renegade. Even though it's a smaller crossover, it's still pretty spacious. And then underneath, we've got our spare tire that you guys could probably kind of see. And you can see a little bit of extra storage there on the side. It's kind of interesting with those little cubbies. And then look, there's a little Jeep right here. That's kind of cool. Anyways, when you're all done, just plop. Here's a quick look at the taillights. You got the X design and then the Trailhawk badge here, and then we have a recovery hook on the back. And you guys can see 4x4. Putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the Renegade Trailhawk. Now, popping inside here in the door panel, it is soft touch, and I do like the look of the handle there. I think that's pretty neat. And then here are the seats. You guys can see the red stitching there along the side. Now, legroom back here is actually really good. You guys can see a little storage pocket here. We have a USB as well. And here's kind of a better look at those seats. I actually really like these. They're comfortable as well. And then last but not least, headroom is really good because it's a box. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see the padding here, and then we've got all of our window controls, and then you guys can see here the front two are automatic, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then I like the red around the speaker there, and then look, another little Jeep. Now, taking a look at the front seat, you guys can see Trailhawk there, and then look at the stitching that goes along either side. Power adjustments here on the side as well, and then you guys can see with the floor mats. And then we have our light control here, automatic, and then you got your fog light action. Then look at the red around the vent. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see really nice padding all around, and then you can see the contrasted stitching as well. We do have radio controls in the back with our cruise control, controls there for the center stack, voice command, phone controls as well, and then your regular stocks there on the back. I think the gauge cluster looks pretty cool. Obviously, analog on either side, and then you've got the screen there in the center, which you can use to scroll through a few different menus, see different bits of info here on the Renegade itself. Now, in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lights that turn with the steering wheel, and resolution's okay. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time with the screen's actually really good. We have heated seats and a heated steering wheel. We also have dual zone climate as well as navigation, which takes a second to load up. But once it does load up, ooh. I do think the vents here at the top are kind of funny with the placement. And then the dash is soft touch for those of you wondering. Got a Jeep grab handle here on the side, and then you guys can see the red trim there. Anyways, volume and radio controls down below with our lane departure. We do have dual zone climate controls as well. And you guys can see here with all the charging ports. And then notice with the drive mode select, so we have our auto, snow, sand, mud, rock, four-wheel drive low, four-wheel drive lock, and then your hill descent control. And if you're wondering with the drive modes, when you actually switch the drive mode, it pops up here. in the center, a little animation. So I think that's pretty cool. So here's the shifter for that 9-speed automatic transmission. You do have a manual mode as well. Parking brake here, stability control, auto stop start. And then with the center console, it's got good storage space. I do like the padding here on the top. It's very squishy, as you can see. And then pretty normal glove box. And then nothing too crazy happening up top. Now taking a look at the window sticker, you guys can see base MSRP $31,970. Again, this is called Solar Yellow. It's a special paint color. But anyways, we've got a few options, including the Trailhawk Elite Group. Total MSRP is $35,555. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's see what visibility is like here in the Fiat Renegade. I mean Jeep Renegade. Anyways, visibility of the hood, both the mirrors, just do a blind spot monitoring, then through the rest of the rear. And well, let us set off in the Fiat 500X Trailhawk. Oops, I mean Jeep Renegade Trailhawk. I don't know why this happens or anything like that. It's not like the door jamb sticker says made in Italy or anything like that. It's just a coincidence, something. Anyways. Let's speaking of things that are made in Italy, setting off here in the Renegade. First off, the seats are actually really comfortable. They're more comfortable than I initially thought. And on top of that, the thing I like about these seats is that they'd be really easy to clean because of the fact there's no like perforations. So that is a big benefit. And it makes sense, right, with the off-roader theme that this has going for it. Now, aside from that, I feel like Jeep's kind of like overcompensating with this to make this like as rugged as possible, to like try to pull your attention away from the fact that it's ultimately like a rebadged Fiat 500. Because like, look at the steering wheel, like they give it this like rugged look and feel, and it's like, okay, you're kind of trying too hard. But anyways, man, getting up and moving, this thing's got some pep in its step. I mean, this 1.3 liter, it's got some torque, that is for sure. It's a lot peppier than I honestly expected it to feel. Again, you hear 1.3 liter and you think, man, that is such a tiny engine, it's not going to have like any power. But man, this thing is, it's pushing quite a bit of power. I mean, look at this, a little bit of turbo lag there. Once you get past the turbo lag, man, this thing moves. Wow, honestly, quite impressive. Quite impressive indeed. And sorry, there's more traffic down here than I expected, so we're gonna have to do a slightly different route than I normally do. Okay, well, getting up and moving again, I will say you can feel that there's it's front-wheel drive biased. Obviously I don't have it in four-wheel lock, but you can tell that more power is going to the front, so there is kind of like that pulling forward feeling with it. And another thing, like I kind of mentioned earlier, there is quite a bit of turbo lag. It's not the worst thing ever, but like it's definitely there. So let's sum things up here with the Renegade Trailhawk. First off, this yellow paint job, it's bright. This is definitely for an extroverted person, that is for sure. When it comes to the off-road capabilities of this, obviously more aggressive tires would be great, but I mean, the ground clearance is good, and the fact that you actually have a four-wheel drive low and everything, I think that's quite impressive as well. I really like this interior. For like an off-roader, I like the fact that like this would all be very easy to clean off. So I think that's a big plus. And including the seats also would be easy to clean off as well. And you know, even though I've been kind of giving this a little bit of crap in the review, I actually don't care that this is built on the same platform as a Fiat, because this has a big spacious interior, and like, I don't know, for the price point and everything, it's kind of a cool, quirky feeling vehicle, but then it's also like a Jeep on the outside. So it's, I don't know, I think there's definitely an appeal to it. And so yeah, for like a $35,000 vehicle, I think it's actually pretty cool overall. And we'll get, I guess, one last acceleration here. Turbo lag, and there we go. Man, that is, I haven't experienced that level of turbo lag in a while. It kind of makes it fun though.